Coleen. There we are. Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday. What is today? It's April 22nd. I'm sure the thumbnail told you that. I never know what day it is. Good morning, Mrs. Dee Dee, and I owe you. Dee Dee is at My Big Tidy Up. She does tidying, cleaning, simple DIY, decor, all those things over on her channel, and she drops videos and shorts. The videos are 5 p.m. on Friday. Good morning, and that's Central Time. Good morning, Practically Creative, who is Melissa. She's moderator. She would be the pretty blue name that you see coming up in your chat. I'm bound to point the wrong way. I don't know if my count is accurate, but okay. The count that it shows me for how many are watching is not accurate. Good morning, Deborah. Oh, goodness. I had a very long weekend. I've got to stop watching my friends like Dee Dee and Sophia for my great challenge. Oh, those two just... Good morning, Fern. It's good to see you. I hope everybody had a good Easter. If you celebrate Easter, if you don't, it was just another day. I hope you had a good Sunday. Good morning. I pinned the templates for this block in the top of the chat. It's also underneath the video with links. Now, I try to remember to explain this every time, but the blocks that I make on my lives are free patterns, FPP templates, whatever it is that I'm doing for it, I'm going to give you for free to go along with the video. If you can figure out without the video, great, don't watch it. If you don't want to, it's okay. Worst YouTuber ever. Anyway, there's these blocks right here and here and here. Look at that, I did it first try. Those are from a pattern from 3 Yard Quilts Fabric Cafe called City Lights. My quilt is going to be called Show Me City Lights because I'm in Missouri, which is the Show Me state. And their pattern is a paid pattern. Links to them are below also for the single digital download, which I think was $6 last time I looked. And that's how I got it. And they also have it in one of their books, also below the video. My cats want to play fetch. Well, Fern, what do you do when your cats want to play fetch? I had a cat when I was babysitting for my sister, and I was, oh shoot, I was young. I don't know how old I was, but I was probably 13, 12, 13, you know. I was babysitting my sister's 2 little ones overnight, and she had a cat, this little kitten. I was on the couch. So the kids are in bed, it's overnight, so I'm falling asleep on the couch. This kitten comes up and crawls up, wants to snuggle with me. I take it and I put it beside me, and it crawls up. I take it and I put it a little bit further, and it crawls. I'm doing this all night. Meanwhile, my sinuses and everything else are going crazy. I didn't know at the time I was allergic to cats. And I keep putting this kit further and further. I felt like it was playing fetch with me. She says we are playing. He won't stop. He's 8 years old. That is so cute. Oh, we didn't do anything extra special on Sunday. I always do my, do you know why we're celebrating today? For my one son who's still here. I guess I could text that to my other sons. That's what I should do. Other than that, it was a Sunday. Had my preaching on the TV most of the day. So that's what we did. I was still recovering. And I'm still recovering from my shenanigans Friday. That vanity. Oh my gosh. My younger brother, my younger brother, I texted him And I asked him, I said, I watched videos on how to take the vanity out. And I said, nothing is working like the video said. I said, this should be simple. And he says, yeah, it should be simple. And I said, not the way I'm doing it. He's like, see if they put a screw behind the kick plate. They didn't have a kick plate on it. That was just the board. It didn't have anything extra in front of it. So I put my toes up between the board and the back of it. And I was like, this is all I got. There's nothing there. It sucks. I sent him a picture. And then my husband comes home, and so far I've got the sink out. And I've got, what else did I cut up? Seems like I cut up more than that. I've got it pried loose. It's completely loose. I can wiggle it from every side. I just can't get the thing to pull up so I can get it over the pipes and get it out. And this is not sewing related. It will be soon. We'll get to it. Some people are interested. Deborah says she was purging again. I like purging. Anyway, my husband comes home at noon. I've already been fighting with this thing. Actually, it's like 1. I've already been fighting with this vanity for 3 hours. I'm done. My back is done. My body is done. And it says, knock it off, take a break, eat something. I'm not going to because, you know, I ignore myself. My husband comes back there and he's like, it won't come out. I said, it won't come out. He says, well, all that is holding that top in is 4 screws. I said, I know that's all that's holding the top in, but I couldn't take the entire vanity with the sink in it, the entire top, even though it's probably, you know, yay big. I couldn't pick that up myself and take it outside. So I had to do it in pieces, which I didn't really want to do, but I was going to get my son to help me pick up the whole vanity as soon as I got it loose. And at that point, because it should have. So anyway, he takes off the top and he acts like he's done something miraculous and I'm an idiot. So I tell him, I know there's 4 screws there. And he's like, well, and my brother told me there was 2 screws holding the back on. I was like, yep, I took those off as soon as I got the vanity cut out. I showed him a picture of that. Plus, I needed to get that sink out so I could get to one of the holes that's holding the vanity to the back. So all of you are going, I'm sure. But oh, he comes home. Dee Dee's on, right? I'll read that in just a second. He goes home, and so he takes this top off, and he's feeling like he's done something miraculous. And I'm like, I could have done that. And next thing I know, I walk out of the room to put that in the garage before we dispose of it. I take that to the garage. I come back, and he's got the front part of the vanity. There's a piece that just kind of overlays. He's got it pulled off, and he hands it to me. And I look and he's broke something else off of it. It's not damaging the walls or anything. He's just breaking it. I was like, that was my plan B. In fact, I texted a couple people. This thing's about to come out, Johnny Cash style. He's got that song, One Piece at a Time, for the car where he was working. He was taking out pieces. So it's random pieces put together. And that's what I was going to do. That was going to be my next step because I could figure out, but I thought he could do it nicer. He couldn't. He was very proud of himself that he got it out, and I couldn't. I was like, Anyway, he gets out. Oh, my nose is itching. He gets that out, and I've already cut out the pipes and everything. So we have to go to Lowe's because we need a extension for the pipe. We go in there, and I've taken my medication. I can't hardly walk. I've got my cane. I don't go into stores with my cane usually because I'm just doing more damage. But he's like, come on, we're going to Lowe's. And I said, okay. I was going to do this in small chunks. I was going to take it out, get the new one in, and then as I could, put the things together on it, like the faucet, like the top, like the drawers. Like, he decided we were going to do it. We were going to do it now. We're going to do it all in one whack. And I was like, oh, Lord help me. Seriously. So we did it all in one whack, and he took over. So my project turned into his. I was disappointed in that, but it got done. I still have more work to do because I need to put the tiles around the top. That is not going to be anytime soon at all. Okay, anyway. Whoop. I saw people come in while I was chatting. Let's Dee says, this is exactly why I limit myself to spraying for DIYs. Nothing, and I do mean nothing, ever goes according to plan when I do a big project. Right. I was thinking about that when I was doing it too. I was like, all the things that I could see going wrong did. And then some. I drilled the holes because, I'm talented like that. For the pipes that go underneath and the pipe that comes out of the wall, I went in there and I made a template with cardboard and marked the holes. And I took my template with cardboard in and I marked the holes and I drilled them. And my vanity is Swiss cheese. I drilled them all wrong. And the fun part of that was my husband watched me do it, and then said I knew it won't work. Okay. All right then. Oh. So then he fixed that. And I was like, okay, I see what I did wrong though. So I learned, and that's why I wanted to do, we have two that I want replaced. The other one is, I don't even have the vanity yet. But I wanted to learn. I was like, I can do this. I can't do the lifting clearly, or the pulling I shouldn't do, but I can do most of the stuff. He works all week. He works 5 days a week. So I do what I can. And Melissa says, Dee Dee, nothing ever goes to plan when anyone does a big project. Oh, Melissa, our last dog crossed the Rainbow Bridge this weekend, which was a blessing for her. And I'm so sorry, Melissa. It was her time. And Dee Dee says, I misspoke. Nothing goes according to plan, even for my small projects too. I've seen that. Oh, Francis, I'm so sorry, Melissa. Sherry says, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Sherry. And Dee Dee says, sorry, Melissa. And Melissa is sharing links for my moderators over there. I got it, didn't I? That's where the box is. Live chat. And that's what I'm looking at over here. She is sharing all the links for my moderators, my friends. If you want to go get chatty on their comments, say hi to them, give them a subscribe and a thumbs up. I'm sure they'd appreciate it, and I would appreciate it. My moderators volunteer to help me when they can, and I appreciate them very much. Coleen, it could be worse. I'm still waiting on my bathroom sinks to be caulked 3 years later, Melissa says. See, that's why I do it myself. I don't know how. I got a new light for our bedroom closet. It's just a bare light, and so I got a pretty light cover for it that has to be installed, wired. I don't do wiring. I will do anything but wiring because I don't want to. Oh. Everybody says sorry, Melissa. Lynn says, afternoon, ladies, late to the party. Ah, you're not late. Got engrossed with my sewing, only realized what time it was when my tummy started to grumble for food. I do that a lot, and then I say, shut up. We're not going to eat yet. And then it starts doing things like making me shake and dizzy, and I'm like, fine. Have it your way. Good morning, Lynn. Oh, you're a woman on a mission. And I gotta tell you, I haven't watched TD's video from Friday yet. Medication makes me foggy, and bleh. Really can't tell you what I did this weekend other than sit and pray that the pain stopped. Some days it goes like that. And last week, my Tuesday, I showed all the things I was going to do. Oh no, those didn't get done. I cleaned the couch off. I cleaned my husband's chair off. My giant table did not get cleaned off until Sunday, I think. Not my giant table, my little table. Everything else got straightened up little at a time. So none of these back here were quilted or finished. And I'm okay with that. A little bit annoyed with myself, but I'm okay with that. And today we are doing in the Show Me City Lights block number 10. It is from the Quilt Builders card deck. What is my phone going on? It's supposed to be on. It was called tea leaf. Let's see. Now I'm going to look at it. Nope, they didn't put it. I think they had more seams than I do. I pull random cards from the Quilt Builder's card deck or a book and a random block pattern, and then I make it to the size that I need it. For this particular one, I did a what size would you like the blocks to be on my community tab, and 8 inches was picked, so I do 8 and 16 inches in that size. That's just a little bit too small for this quilt right here, so I add a border to them when I get around to it. That one has one. That one doesn't. That one doesn't. That one doesn't. That one doesn't. So haven't gotten around to them yet. You can't see them either. Anyway, that's the block we're going to be making today. Let's pull another card before I forget. Oh, I did almost forget. I'm going to have to put those up. Next Tuesday, I won't be live. College kid, I don't know if calling him. My son, he's graduated. My son has a doctor's appointment next Tuesday, so I'm not going to be live, but I do have some FPP, and I have them in a set of 4 because I was going to separate them for myself to do, and I thought I'm just going to share them with you guys. If you want to do FPP, they're all in one. It was like you'd have to print them all. Maybe I might try to separate them, but next Tuesday, that's what's going to be on the menu. I'm probably not going to do a live or a pre-record as far as I know. So this is going to be Quilt Builder Card Deck Set 3 for a week from next Tuesday, which will bring us into May. And this will be done by May, and I'm going to have to find another project to do. I haven't even thought about it. Good morning, 100 Proof Quilter. That would be Brandy. Okay, which side? Okay. Well, you can see the color coding. These over here I've already done. All right. Handy Andy. Well, that sounds inappropriate. That's pretty, though. Got the square and the square, which I seem to like a whole lot lately. Cool. So 2 weeks from today, this is the one we're going to be making. Handy Andy. I've made blocks like that before. Somebody stole my clip that I had up there. They stole it. Bunch of thieves here, I'm telling you. They don't quilt, but my quilt stuff disappears all the time. Seam rippers. And Brandy is at work. Sherry says, love FPP. I hate printing things out because I'm stingy with printer ink. But I should have printed it out so I could show you guys. Okay, this week's block. I have done some sewing on it. Don't ask what I've got it setting on. I kept knocking it over last night and everything. Well, look at that. This is a piece of foam that came in with one of the computers we ordered. Who knows when? It holds pretty good to it until you do that. But I kept knocking all my pieces over, and it was so aggravating. There is a repeat. I did some of this last night because it's kind of a repeat. We have, where'd my, hang on a second. Miss Almost Prepared. The templates. See if I can keep that together and lay these out here. Because I did not use my alphabetties. I took them out. I just haven't used them. I don't even know what piece this is. G, right? Nope. H. Just a second. A, B, C, D, E, F. That's G. I don't know why I said it's not G. Okay. This is G. It's little. We're going to get to where you can see this. You don't need to see that. Oh, close your eyes. Close your eyes. If you get vertigo, people who have been here a while understand. Okay. I think you can see that. I'm going to move you down a little bit. See that just a little bit better. Hang on, hang on, hang on. All right. If you get vertigo, you should be safe to open your eyes. Let's see if I can explain it now. Have my design board in back of it for stability. Both, they're basically bear paws. Both bear paws should be facing up into the corner. And this is just HSTs. Now you can take a red G and a white G, like I'm going to do here, and just sew that together. And I'll show you real quick with the blue ones because I've done the red ones. All you do is you take the two templates that you've cut out. You don't need FPP for this. You don't need anything. I find this small of HSTs easier with a foundation. So I can take a piece of paper and just put them on that and run it through because it's just, it seems to work easier for me. Quarter inch. Holding on my threads. My needle sounds nicer today. Yesterday it sounded like it needed to be changed. It's a new needle. Made with papers. Get your quarter inch seam. Let's turn the iron on. And move it away from the monitor. And it's as easy as that. Now I need to make sure this is 1.5 inch. Good afternoon, Sylvia and Lynn. So morning, I did say morning to Lynn. The dog got it. So this one should be 1.5 inches. These HSTs. I'm going to put the line, diagonal line. I'm going to line up on my 1.5 inch up here. Actually, there we go. The corner of it is right here at my 1.5 mark, and this corner of that line, of that square, right here at this 1.5 inch mark. So I need to trim just a little bit right here. Normally I do all 4 sides, but I'm going to see if I can get away with not doing 4 sides. It's just a little bit, but just a little bit will throw the block off. As long as your diagonal line is in the corner, hitting the size you want, in this case 1.5 inch. I lost my line there for a second. Should be good. So quickly trim that up to 1.5 inch. Now what I did with the other one, and I'm going to put it right back where I picked it up from because I move things. What I did with these up here, because I like to have a foundation. Foundation papers you've seen is just that. It is, except for you follow the lines. When you put a piece of fabric on a piece of paper and sew through it, you have sewn on foundation. Paper, stabilizer, whatever. You've sewn on a foundation. So I'm just using these papers. I don't like to say bad things, but, and that means I'm going to. Where did I put it? These papers, they are Thangles. I just had it out. These are Thangles. I got several different FPP papers a couple years ago to try them. These are thicker than It's So Emma that Quarter Shop has. These are a little bit thicker. I don't like that. And I don't like something about this design, making 2 at a time, 1 inch finished, bugs my mind. It's not going to bug everybody. So it's probably just a me thing, but it was bugging my mind. So what I did is I turned it over. I took my ruler and I measured 1.5 here and 1.5 here and made me a 1.5 inch square. So I made my own rather quickly. So I've got a 1.5 inch square here. On that blank side, I took a pencil and I marked my corners. I put my pen down at the corner so I know I'm getting that pen width out of the way, so I don't have to do a scant or something silly like that. And then I move my ruler. And then I go corner to corner. I went from corner to corner, and then I just wrote red on my left, white on my right. There we go. And I used it like FPP. Sylvia's, that sounds interesting. Oh, Sylvia is eating liver and onions, and you're not late. You are right on time. You're here when you're supposed to be, which is whenever you get here. So that is how I made my own FPP for this. Plus, it helps me use those little pieces. I could still use the G piece. I just put the red G, the white G together, right sides together, line up my edges right here. And so that's how I use the FPP on this. And that's how I prefer, especially with these. Plus, it won't eat my ends when I'm using FPP usually. So that, and if everything worked correctly, and it probably won't, this covers that entire piece of paper up there. And it's 1.5 inch. Let's see if there's anything to trim real quick. I hope that made sense. So for this, I just made my own FPP. 2 at a time. I've got 2 inch finish 2 at a time somewhere on my channel. You can use those and cut it down if you want to make it bigger. And these papers, they do come out fairly easily, but they are just, I think they're thicker than the ones that I get from Fat Quarter Shop. Oh, it came out easily yesterday. Don't want to pull the stitches out. So, red G, white G. What was I going to say? My husband was making fun of my shaking this morning. He says, I know I'm intimidating, but you don't have to shake. And I was like, why? And he said, it's just going to be bad. You should have seen me over the weekend. It's tremors. It's just a thing I got. It's fine. Sorry if I bugged you. Now you've got your 2 HSTs up here for the paw, right where they belong. And we've got this HST down here, and these were all the G pieces. I didn't write those extra G's because you can kind of do them however you want. You can do 2 at a time HSTs, but I was using little pieces. So this was the most efficient way to use my little pieces. Cut them and to cut them with templates. That's what I was trying to say. So we're going to turn over, put G onto, I know, right? I'm on live, so things won't go like I expect. Oh, okay. Trying to see my templates here. Let's see. I have a blue and a red. My red is already done. Whoops. And wider camera view. Or, just turn it so you can actually see. There we go. Sorry about that. This was the red F piece. This is the blue F piece. First, we're going to put the square on there, and you can use a 1.5 inch square and snowball it that way. You totally can. Do your 1/4 inch right there. Flip it. But like I said, this is very good for those little bitty pieces. So I would first do this on all of these. Right sides together, and then sew a 1/4 inch. Oh, There goes Deborah again. Deborah. She just wants somebody to... Oh! I did not pull that thread quick enough. Let's try that again. Damn. And let's go from the other side. If I don't grab those threads, they knot. And not in a good, helpful way. So let's try that again. Holding my fabric down with my pinky, and I've got these threads in my hand as I lower that. Pull it. There we go. There we go. Now I'm going to do this sew and flip. Or sew and flip. Yeah. I suppose it still is. Tell you how weird on that one. And then I have a, what is that? E. E is the smaller one in white with a G. The only blue, or no, there's another one there. I'll shut up now. Hit the wrong key. You're fine. You're fine. I just like to tease. So I put the right sides together. I'm going to sew the 1/4 inch on this long side right here. Just like I did those two. Because we want a chain piece every chance we get. Seeing if there's any more. I'm supposed to chain piece right now. Nope. And I will put these back where I found them. Otherwise, bad things happen. And press to the dark side, which means you take your light color. Nope, you take your dark color, put it on top, and give it a finger press. Hit it with your iron. Whatever you want to do. And put it back where you found it. Remember, the white was over here, so that should be it. And this one, put the dark on top. Push that back. Give it a press. My friend Halo is on Wednesday at 3, I think. Sometimes she doesn't get to come on, so this chair is awful. And Mom and Pop are on at 11 Eastern, and Halo is 3 Eastern. Fat finger syndrome is what Sylvia calls it, Deborah. And I'm going to just do a quick square up on these. I know they're 1.5 inches wide, and this one squares to 1.5 by 2.5, the smaller one. And in theory, I shouldn't have anything to square up, but in sewing, I do. I have a little bit off the end I need to take. I'm pulling this down to my 2.5 line right here at the bottom. Got my 1.5 line over here. That's probably hard to see, but if you've got a phone, you can scroll in. If you don't, I apologize. Doggy right there, I'll get rid of. Okay. So that one, 1.5 by 2.5. This one is 1.5 by 3.5, I believe. Yeah, this one's 1.5 by 3.5. I'm going to start with this one with my corner because this side looks off to me. I'm going to put my corner in that diagonal. Shut your blade if you move. I'll put my corner up here at this diagonal up here. I want that corner right there in that line. If that makes sense, just like squaring HSTs. And then my sides are pretty straight, so I don't know how I did this, but I did it last night too. So either my cutting was off or my sewing was off. It could be both. But that's okay, because all we got to do is square it up and we're good to go. Deborah says, can't even use that as an excuse. I'm on my tablet. Tablets have small keys. I'm on my keyboard a lot. On my computer. Okay. This one is 1.5 by 3. Did I check to make sure it was 3? Yeah, I did. 1.5 by 3. And we've got our 1.5 inch right there. This one. Dark color on top. Press it back. Did you guys see my community post of the table topper I want to make using Corey Yoder's fabrics and Coleen Co fabrics? This one is also 1.5 by 2.5. They were all, when she did the blocks, they were all bigger or smaller. So I had to adjust them so I could get them all my size. That. I don't know why you feel weird today, but you need to stop. Yes, I'm talking to my rotary cutter. Thank you, Sylvia, who can't even hear us because she's in the pub watching with the volume off. Gonna have to learn sign language at least a little bit. I do know, thank you. Okay. So I've had to cut up this much due to either improper cutting when I cut my templates or my sewing was just the tat off. Either way, it's fine. It is as it should be now. And I've put all these back into, I've almost put all of these back into place. Hey, you can see it there. Let's just leave it. So now these are eaches. Get my templates down here. Sorry about that noise. Throw that away. Stop scratching. Okay. Now I've already put my H's on up here. H goes on to the side here. And over here, I have an H that goes on to the end of that F piece, the blue one. And you'll have the picture and everything in front of you. So all you have to do is look at the picture. It has the pieces marked. I hope I marked them in a way that's understandable to you. Holding my thread as I put that down so it doesn't go in. I have a 1/4 inch foot on. I also have my 1/4 inch tape on. That means nothing. That means nothing to me. And I'm going to, let me see something. Is that, okay, I don't have any places to line up now, so I'm still going to press to the dark side. Dark on top, press it back. Start at top, I was always told. Alrighty. That pressed weird. Just a second. Trying to get these pieces at the same spot. Okay. Now we're all in the same spot. These are done, and it's going to be in chunks. So on the picture, you can see how these will go together in the end. So there's a row here, there's a row here, and a subsection here, row here, and a subsection there. I don't know if this makes sense. I never claim to be, sensible. Oh, we're talking about cleaning. I usually start from the top down unless I don't realize that I'm going to clean the ceiling fan after I've already vacuumed. I have to see what people are saying, so give me just a moment. Oh, Sylvia's on her way home now, so she can probably hear. Deborah said she found some patterns that must have purchased a while ago and forgot about, called Stitched by Numbers. Always fun to find patterns that you forgot you had. There's a Mexican food place here in town that offers liver and onions. Yum. I don't like liver. I like fried onions. I don't like liver. Melissa said. That's Oh, let's see. That's what Sylvia was having? Liver? Yes, Sylvia was having liver and onions. Okay, think I'm caught up. Sorry about that. Deborah said going to be pretty. Thank you. I think that was for me. If it wasn't for me, well, then I'm just going to, I don't know. Let's see. I should ask Dee Dee this question, Melissa says. I'm doing a massive wall, ceiling, and anything else clean. Is it better to do the ceiling down or better, or is there a better methods? And that's what Sylvia was saying. Start at the top. She was always told, Lynn said it too, Dee Dee. Dee Dee, are you here? Are you working? Are we bothering you? Dee Dee, aisle 1. You gotta love it when you know people are lurking and you gotta mess with them. Lynn says I start from the ceiling down when I clean a room. Melissa says, me too, but there are so many newfangled contraptions now. That's what that was about. Okay. Oh, the table topper. Okay, thank you, Deborah. She was saying that will be pretty. Thank you. And I was so happy. The center of it, I got cut out. I was only 2 3-inch squares short of having enough of the fabric just using the Jolly Bar. So I ordered me 2 more fabrics, 2 more half yards from the Fat Quarter Shop. And they're having a Jolly Bar, I think they're going to start an annual Jolly Bar day. May 10th, 5/10. Yeah, because Jolly Bars are 5 by 10. I got to use attention. Okay, that was me being ornery. Excuse me while I get some coffee. Dee Dee says, I'm here. Laughing. I always start from the top, from the ceiling down, is what Dee Dee says. I try to. It doesn't always wind up that way for me. And by the way, I'm making table toppers and table runners for myself. And my next project may be a table runner. It'll be faster. It might be just a summer table runner. I don't know. I don't have any summer quilts. All my quilts are winter quilts. I could make a summer quilt because, you know, we're always cold when we're not hot. But my purpose for having table runners and table toppers suddenly, because I've never had them before, I've never made anything really for myself, is because I don't want to dust. I would rather wash those than dust. Okay. So the picture that I provided you will have letters on these, so you'll know where to put them. I think they used too many seams in that. I didn't need so many seams. Okay, now we're back on track. We go cleaning sideways sometimes because seriously, don't we all have to do it? You might as well do it efficiently. Save time, save your body for sewing. Melissa said, in my 58 years, I have always started from the top down too. So all these younger folks ain't found an easier way for that yet, have they? I have vacuum ceilings though. It's harder on your back to get that vacuum held up if you have a vacuum like mine. Okay, back to the block. That's what we're going to do. Thank you for joining us. I'm Coleen. And this is the block in progress. It progress from just I was going to nail that too. From just a couple minutes ago. So I'm going to do this quadrant up here. I think this is my plan. And then I will do this little quadrant down here last. See, I changed that mid-sentence. This one, this one, this one, this one. Then we're going across and we'll put it together. Pretty easy. So I'm going to start with these 2 HSTs. And I really hope I have a 1/4 inch today. Put them right sides together as I should have showed that. that is how they lay. I will take this one and flip it directly over onto that one. Sometimes I flip right to left. Sometimes I flip left to right. There is no rhyme or reason in my head. I told my son that I was going to go have a meeting. Him and my husband were being obnoxious to me. So I said, I'm going to go have a meeting and a house meeting and see how we're going to handle this. And he says, how are you going to have a house meeting when I'm not coming? And neither is Dad. I said, trust me, all the voices in my head will be there. We'll figure it out. I won't be alone. Nope. I let go too soon. My 1/4 inch just went sideways. Constant problem. I'm just going to go back, put that down, and do it again. And hang on to it this time. Tracy, Albert is here. Tracy is here. And now we have these two put together. Let's see, where did Tracy come in? Tracy. I love you, Tracy. Melissa says, I want a Roomba for my ceiling and walls, no doubt. Tracy's saying hi to everyone. Everyone's saying hi to Tracy. Yay! We don't see Tracy very often. Get excited when we see Tracy. Okay. Back to business. I can do this. Now, since I've already got this one pieced with my triangle and then my square, I'm going to take it and flip it right over top that one. And Tracy loves me too. I'm going to take our 1/4 inch right down that side. Now, if you're afraid you're going to get it turned around, you could put a pin in the side that you're going to sew, or a clip, just something to remind you this is the side I'm sewing. Because when you're like me and you start doing things like this, you might turn it around. I have no intersections to watch for. I just want to make sure I don't flip my seams. I ordered a new battery for my Yeetie Rotovac thingy and a new brush for it. The first battery I've gotten side. Okay. Normally I wouldn't press to the white side, but this is the side of least resistance and I don't want to fight those seams. So I'm going to put this on top and push it back. A bit closer. That's on top. I'll just push it back, press the seam, hit it with the iron. You should set your seam first. I generally don't do that because I'm efficient. Anyway, I had to order a battery. The first one won't keep a charge now. My last one was losing a charge, so I got a new one. It wouldn't keep a charge. Oh, I guess I forgot to sew these together. That's okay. This isn't what I said I was going to do, is it? I said I was going to do that section, and then I got sidetracked. And the Tracy love came in, and I'm an untrustworthy person. Let's do what I said I was going to do, and not what I'm, skipping all over the place. Do it. So rewind. Pretend like I just said we have our 2 HSTs. We're going to take piece B, I believe. Is it B or D? D. Piece D, as in dog. Flip it over that one and sew that down. And I'm going to turn it this way so I can watch my seams and make sure they don't flip. do the same thing on this one, the white on top, and press back. You want to make sure you have no red, blue, or any other color peeking up through there, because it will show through on your block once it's sewn together. So I'm going to press that back. It looks like I've lost this, but I haven't lost this because I still have a seam to take there. What Tracy do? Lisa, I'm saving to get a machine. I want the Juki TL18 QVP. Oh, nice. And Melissa said that too. So I'm going to put this one back down. And now we need to see it. So 1A square to that. Again, I'm going to flip it this way so I can see that seam doesn't flip on me. And my machine likes it better when it has less seams underneath. Holding my thread because bad things happen. Hey, that was my finger. Talking to my machine like it can understand me because one of the voices in my head said so. That's going to be a thing. It's a thing now. Okay, so that's where I picked it up from. Again, path of least resistance is going to be this way, so I want to make sure I have no red sticking out up there as I flip it this way. Tracy says, I was flipping between that one and the 2010 Q, but I make more bags than quilts. Sylvia took her knitted bags out of timeout, her knitted socks out of timeout this week. And Melissa says, all I've done exciting is gift a quilt. Well, that is very exciting. So now we've got this piece done. Let's see. That top doesn't look quite as straight as it should be, but it's going to be okay. It's in our seam allowance, but I want to measure that if I find my ruler. Any ruler will do. I'm losing things. This should be, let's see, this was 1.5, this 1.5, so put together 2.5. Yeah. Somebody did not cut all their pieces very well. That was not a sewing error. That was a cutting error. Just a smidge, but I'm going to square this down to 2.5. It's 2.5 by 4.5 at this point. And put it back up here where it goes. So there's still a little trimming. I've done template piecing before where I didn't have trimming. This time I have trimming. And now, first of all, you need to point that way. Now I'm going to take this piece and flip it over to this piece. Pardon me. Line up my edges here. And I don't think I showed that very well a minute ago. I'll line up my edges here. You could pin it. There are no corners to match, no seams to match. So let's see, which side do I want? I think I'm going to sew. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter which side I sew from. This side has less seams, so that's the side I'm going to sew on. Holding my thread with my finger, my fabric with my hand, cutting my wheel down, pulling this just a little bit. So that would be an intersection. Sometimes this is a helper. The threads are a helper when I hit those intersections that this thing just does not want to cross. And I have tried everything. Except for putting paper under it or interfacing or something like that all the time, which would just, yeah, that's just wasteful. So path of least resistance on this one. There's several seams here. There's a couple here. I think it's the lower piece. Let's see if it'll tell us. Yeah. I think it wants to go this way more. So I'm going to put that side on top and press it back to it. Iron it. Set your seam first, then iron. And don't smush. Don't do this, okay? You shouldn't be doing that. That's not what you want to do. That can stretch things out of place. You want me to show you again? Then we're going to put it back up there. Okay. I'm just going to finish that top row because that's going to bug me. Take piece, what was it, C? It's more of a rectangle than a square. Yeah. Take one of the piece C's, right sides together, and put it together with this one. And they should be the same size. Lining up my edges. This doesn't have any seams, so I'm going to put that side down. I can see where my stitches make a V right here. I don't want to do that to show you. I'm going to try to stay to this side, and I shouldn't have any trouble, it looks like, of that V. Let's see, where did that go? Where's the pointer? This will do. What was I going to show you? Okay. When I sewed this, I'm sorry for the shaking. When I sewed this, I could see this V right here. I was trying to stay on or over to the right of that V, so I keep that nice corner right there. If I could open it. I should have came in a little bit more, but that's okay. See? Want to see? Friends, now look at front seams. Want to see? And I'm going to press to the white because that is my path of least resistance. Again, I'm going to check if I can see the red sticking out. I can't. That really traumatized me when I did that. I could see the red coming through, red, white, and blue wall hanging. That was traumatic. I don't want to happen again. Well, there's all kinds of talking. I'm just, I'm sorry. Deborah says, I did maintenance on my 2 machines that are being used right now. Sylvia says, I'm very bad at doing maintenance on my machines. And Lynn, I took my crumb blocks out of the box, didn't realize just how many I have made over the last couple of years, decided to stash some of them to make into a quilt top, probably have enough for 2. Yay, that is cool. That's a nice surprise, isn't it? Deborah, my featherweight was very happy that I gave her some oil. So much quieter. Sylvia, Lynn, that's wonderful to get 2 out of it. And Melissa, I love it when I can use all the scraps up fast. Yes. Lynn, have you decided or Sylvia asks Lynn if you've decided, what you're doing with your panel. Lynn says, I want to make it into an attic window quilt, Sylvia. Need to watch a couple of videos on how to. Oh, I like attic windows. One of the first quilts I made. Yeah, one of the first quilts I made was for my husband. And that was kind of what I was going for. Don't know if I did it right or not, but that'll be cute. So anyway, I've been bumping things over here, haven't I? Things look bumped. Put them back where they go. All right. That would be back where they go. Now the top section is finished. And we'll go down here to the single HST and this piece. And we'll put the white side next to this side. One over the other. And we're going to sew down this side, put a pin, put a clip if you can't remember. I really should because I have messed that up so many times, but it takes longer during live and wow, that should have been pinned. That should have. This is why you pin, or check what you're doing, pay attention to what you're doing, don't look at chat. My edge right there, flip down. It does that pretty often. So I'm going to put it back. I'm going to sew it from this side so I can see. Actually, I'm going to take the whole thing out because that is not aligned right at all. Not even a little. I heard people behind me. And yes, this is how I've seen rip. I am not going to sit here and try to see those stitches to pick them out. Voila. Whoops. That was going to be so dramatic. It's done. Let's try it again. Line it up. Actually line it up this time. Have it lined up. We're hanging on to it because we're, still being rebels and not pinning. Oh, if you like those blocks on the community page, some of them are from Corey Yoder's coriander quilts. Block of the month. Well, all of them are inspired by her, so they're from her block of the month that she's doing right now. That's better. I should be able to keep that point. And I'm going to press it this direction. Oh, see that? See what I mean? There's a little bit of blue right there. I don't trust it, so I clip the blue. Well, I'm almost going to. Come on, show off. That's the way it wants to go. This way, I may have to switch some because I haven't thought that far ahead yet. Okay, so we've got this pieced up. We're going to take B. We're going to take one of the B's and just flip it right over on it. I'll line up that edge, and we're going to sew it from this side so we can see. Voila, I have a pointer. Right here, I can see my seams. It's on white, so you probably can't, but there's a V right here. I want to keep that. Not get too crazy inward or outward. If I use a accurate, careful, precise 1/4 inch, I should not lose that point. But have you met me? So I'll be watching that V. And holding it all the way through so I don't veer. Yay! I'm getting better at the quarter. I won't say it's 1/4 inch, but not at not veering down here because I realized that I was doing that, and I'm paying attention now. Now we're going to take the white piece on top and press it back, and we have that point. And this should be taken in our next piece we put next to it. So if it looks like, oh, well, you don't have a point over there because I did this. Maybe it was just me. I looked at this. I was like, oh, I ruined it. I ruined it. There's no point over here. Well, there's not supposed to be a point over there yet. I was just, goofy. Okay, now I'm going to take the center A block, A piece, and turn it over this way. And sew those together with my solid piece on the bottom to avoid having to fight my machine. And I can watch that seam to make sure it doesn't flip. Great place to use a stiletto. I use my knot stiletto, which is also called a seam ripper, when I feel like it. So, yay! And I am, again, check to see, get that thread off there. Check to see if there's anything showing through of the red up here. And I'll press that back. Yes, I should be setting my seams if you're coming in late. No, I am not setting my seams because I just don't feel like it today. Now I'm going to take... oh! I remembered something I had on my list to say, but I didn't look at my list. Now we're going to take this side and put it on this side, line these two edges up right here. So this will all line up right there, ideally. You can watch the little V that you'll see right here. You can put a pin in there to make sure you watch it, but we're living crazy today. Dangerously. I'm not. I'm going to watch that V. Lynn said, and I have some matching fabric that I went on Mom and Pop's show a while ago. Nice. I still have some of the what was it? The hot air balloons. I can't think of what it was called. Make sure there's no glue sticking out over there. I'm going to trim this because I've got, when it's folded over, no, we'll see. We'll trim it after. Put it back down where I found it because I'm touching things again. This one